Today, we're going to understand how to use the direct object and the indirect object together. Before we begin, a quick note. This lesson builds on two previous classes, the direct object and the indirect object. If you haven't watched those lessons yet, I strongly recommend doing that first. Once you're comfortable with those two topics, you'll be ready to learn one of the most useful pronoun structures in Spanish. Let's get started. First, let's remember the difference. The direct object receives the action. The indirect object tells us to whom or for whom the action is done. Let's see an example. Doy un libro a María. Ask, what do I give? In Spanish, ¿qué doy? Answer, un libro. That is the direct object. Now ask, to whom do I give a book? In Spanish, ¿a quién doy un libro? Answer, a María. That is the indirect object. Now we replace both objects with pronouns. The direct object, un libro, becomes lo. The indirect object, a María, becomes le. The indirect object always comes before the direct object. So now we have le lo doy. But in Spanish, this combination is not correct. When le or les come before lo, la, los, or las, we change le and le to se. So the correct sentence is se lo doy. Let's see another example. Enviamos una carta a Juan. Ask, what do we send? In Spanish, ¿qué enviamos? Answer, una carta. Direct object. Now ask, to whom do we send a letter? In Spanish, ¿a quién enviamos una carta? Answer, a Juan. Indirect object. Now we replace both objects. Una carta becomes la. A Juan becomes le. The indirect object always comes before the direct object. So now we have le la enviamos. Again, in Spanish, this combination is not correct. When le or les come before lo, la, los, or las, we change le and les to se. So the correct sentence is se la enviamos. As we said before, the indirect object goes before the direct object, and then the verb. When a sentence has two verbs, like in example 3, voy a dar una flor a mi madre, you have two choices. Place both pronouns before the conjugated verb, that will be se la voy a dar, or attach them to the end of the infinitive verb to form a single word, voy a dársela. Now you know how to combine direct and indirect object pronouns. This is a topic that many Spanish learners find confusing, but with practice it becomes completely natural. If you would like a PDF version of this lesson with all the examples and explanations, follow Spanish with Maria and comment pronoun below. And I'll send you the lesson so you can review and practice it whenever you want. See you in class.